What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to draw a table for a set of results that you've collected in a scientific investigation. So here we've got the results for a simple investigation that changed the height of a ramp. So one end of the ramp went up higher, and a car was rolled down it, and the students recorded the distance that the car traveled 3 times for each height. So in this case, you need to figure out what your independent and dependent variables are. So the height of the ramp is the thing that you changed, which makes it the independent variable, and the distance that the car traveled is the thing that was measured, so that is the dependent variable. You need to figure those out so you can know where your data goes. Um, the first thing we need to do is figure out how many rows and columns that we need. We can see that because our independent variable is the height of the ramp, that column that always needs to go in the first column on our data table. And you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values for the height of the ramp, which means we're going to need 5 rows on our table. However, we're also going to need to leave an additional row at the top for our headings of our columns. We're also going to need to figure out how many columns that we need. So that's the first column, and then we've got 3 tests, they'll need a column each. And we also have a column for our average, so we're going to need 5 columns wide by 6 rows high. So you guys can rule it up using your ruler and your pencil. And there we go. We've got our grid, and we can start filling in our values. And as I said, the independent variable goes in the first column. And we also need to put in units to show what we measured each of the numbers in. Now we could put our units down here like that, but that would mean that we have to write it 5 times, and it's actually much quicker if you just put in the unit once at the top of the column to say these numbers are all measured in centimeters, and just make sure that that's in brackets. It tells you that that is the unit. So fill in the rest of those values. There we go. And now you can fill in titles for the other columns, which is test 1, test 2, test 3, and average. One too many columns, which I'll just get rid of. So there we go. Now, once you start putting in our values down here, again, you don't want to put in your units every time, because if you're using a spreadsheet, for example, that'll stop you being able to do a calculation. It doesn't actually tell us what these numbers mean, and we need to say that these are the distance the car traveled, and also the unit of measurement, which is centimeters. So what we need to do, that applies to all 4 of these columns. So if we can insert a column above, and we can say merge that because it needs to go across all of those, and say that these columns represent the distance the car traveled in centimeters, just like that. Okay, and now we go for the rest of our values. Now once we're done, the final step is to calculate your average over here. And if you're using a pen and paper, all you need to do is add together each row and then divide by the number of them. So in this case, you'd add 15, 13, 16, and you would divide by 3, and that would give you the average. If you're using a spreadsheet, it's much easier. You can just use an average calculation function by typing in equals, average, and then put the range of cells, which is these in brackets. But I'll be going through that with you